chapter 5, text 17. This verse is being spoken by Narad Muni, who is Shaktavesh avatar, to his disciple Ved Vyas. So,
Prabhu, first we'll read translation of 14 to 22. Yeah.
14 to 22.
Yeah, we'll read translations and then we'll focus on verse number 17.
Okay.
And then you can recite one time the whole verse and then I will read words right.
So 14, right?
Yeah. So we'll just read translation one by one.
Okay.
Okay. And so after 22, we'll focus on 17 verse.
So I'm gonna read the translation.
No, we will read
Okay.
one by one.
Okay. So आप start कीजिए 14 से.
Bro, start.
Text 14. Whatever you desire to describe that is separate and different from the list, not simply the different from names and results. Regulate the mind as a one wind and takes a word which has no resting place.
The people in church are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the same name of religion. This is fairly condemned and is quite unreasonable. Because they are guided under your instructions, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions.
The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality, retired from the activities of material happiness, deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by a goodness through descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, 17. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not lose anything.
Persons who are actually engaged in philosophical enjoyment should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable, even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain misery, even though we do not desire them. 19.
My dear Vyas, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, fruitive workers, etc. Because the person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again.
The Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead is Himself, this cosmos, and still is aloof from it. From Him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated in Him. It rests, and onto Him it enters after annihilation. You good self knows all about this. I have given only you a synopsis.
Text 21. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the super soul personality of Godhead, because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are worthless, you appear on the earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly.
Lord scholars have concluded that the infallible purpose of advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of kindness and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry.
Now we can focus on 17.
On 17? Okay. So I will read the Sanskrit first. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan apakvo tatha patet tato yadi yatra kvava bhadram abhud amushyakim को वार्थ अपतो अभजताम स्वधर्मात्मः.
त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरे
भजन पक्वोऽथापते यत्र क्वभद्भद्रमभूतमुष्य
यात्रा स्वधर्मान् चरणाम्बुजं हरे
स्वधर्मां चरणाम्बुजं हरे
भजन पथोऽथ पते ततो यदि
भजन पक्वोऽथापते ततो यदि
यत्र त्ववाभाद्रमभूतमुष्य किम्
यत्रापवभद्रम् अभूतमुष्य किम् त्ववापतुपजतां स्वधर्मतः भक्तो बलिकां स्वधर्मत्मः. Whatever translation?
Yes.
Tyaktva, having forsaken, swadharmam, one's own occupational engagement, charnambujam, the lotus feet, Hare, of Hari, the Lord, bhajan, in the course of devotional service, apakvaha, immature, athaha, for the matter of, patet, falls down, tataha, from the place, from that place, yadi, if, yatra, whereupon, qua, what sort of, va, or used sarcastically, abhadram, unfavorable, abhut, shall happen, amushya, of him, kim, nothing, ka va artha, what interest, aptaha, obtained, abhajatam, of the non-devotee, swadharmata, being engaged in occupational service. Translation, right?
Yes.
One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet, there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As far as the duties of the mankind are concerned, there are innumerable duties. Every man is duty bound not only to his parents, family members, society, country, humanity, other living beings, the demigods, etc., but also to the great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one can relinquish all such duties and surrender unto the service of the Lord. So, if one does so and becomes successful in the discharge of his devotional service unto the Lord, it is well and good. So, if one does so, but it so happens sometimes that one surrenders himself unto the service of the Lord by some temporary sentiment, and in the long run, due to so many other reasons, he falls down from the path of service by undesirable association. There are so many instances of this in the histories. Bharat Maharaj was obliged to take his birth as a stag due to his intimate attachment to a stag. He thought of this stag when he died. As such, in the next birth, he became a stag, although he did not forget the incident of his previous birth. Similarly, Chitraketu also fell down due to his offenses at the feet of Shiva. But in spite of all this, the stress is given here to surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Lord, even if there is a chance of falling down, because even though one falls down from the prescribed duties of devotional service, he will never forget the lotus feet of the Lord. Once engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, one will continue the service in all circumstances. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that even a small quantity of devotional service can save one from the most dangerous position. There are many instances of such examples in history. Ajamil is one of them. Ajamil in his early life was a devotee, but in his youth he fell down. Still, he was saved by the Lord at the end. Okay. So, this verse is one of the most frequently quoted verses by Srila Prabhupada. In one sense, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that this is one of the most revolutionary verses which brings clarity in the minds of many kinds of devotees. Devotees, those who are aspiring to chant, or those who are aspiring to move into temple, the devotees, those who are living in temple, but they are double minded, whether they should continue their stay or move out. And also for devotees, those who have fallen out, that means they have either left the temple or the devotional service or practice altogether. So, as I had mentioned earlier, this verse has been spoken by Narad Muni, who is a Shaktavesh avatar, and he is speaking this verse to Srila Vedvyas. And Vedvyas has compiled all the Vedas, and this incidence is when Vedvyas is expressing his unhappiness to his Gurudev that after compiling Mahabharat, histories, and everything, he is not having any kind of peace. So, what should he do? And in this purport, we can see Srila Prabhupada has mentioned three cases. First two cases, first case of King Bharat and second case of Chitraketu. In both of them, they fell down. And last case of Ajamil, where he was already in a fallen situation and he was revived of his fallen situation by chanting the name of Narayana, that too only once, and indicating his son. So he was not even chanting the name of Krishna purely, but indicating his son. In Skand Puran, it is mentioned if a person with a full capacity and full strength decides to commit each and every possible sin, he does not have power to get into get so low that Hari Nam cannot save him. Just one name of Hari, Krishna, and Ram is good enough to revive and save him from hellish condition of life. In Madhurya Kadamri, we have heard that there are 9 stages of bhakti, or bhakti starts like this. It starts with Shraddha, that is faith. Second is Sadhu Sang. Then you get into association of devotees. Third is Bhajan Kriya. With association of devotees, you learn how to perform devotional practice. Third, sorry, fourth is Anartha. That is the clearing stage and the most elonging stage or long stage in most of the devotees' life. Nishta, steadiness, ruchi, taste, asakti, attachment, bhava, love, prema, pure love for Krishna. From case 1 here, King Bharat was already in stage of bhava, right? And here we learn that his association with a stag led him to his downfall, right? So we have to be very, very careful with whom we are associating. It is very, very important not to associate with non-devotees, but it is our duty to preach them. But Prahlad Maharaj has clearly mentioned that we must associate with non-devotees to the point where we can come back. We must not go to the point where we get preached by them. So it is a very important point to be noted. Also, we have to understand why one falls down. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Guru Maharaj has mentioned, if somebody commits with determination to morning program from Mangal Aarti to Bhagavatam class, including 16 rounds of chanting and avoiding Vaishnava Aprad, there is no chance a person can fall down. I repeat, he said, there is no chance a person can fall down if one strictly adheres to the morning program from Mangal Aarti to Bhagavatam class. So, for that reason, it is very important for devotees also to sleep on time. Sometimes devotees, they push themselves unnecessarily. So, for that regard, they must consult their senior devotees whether they should increase their rounds, increase their sadhana or not. Because if there's gonna be fall down, what's the point of increasing that kind of sadhana? Now, I would like to take out some verses from Bhagavatam, pointing how much the asakti was there in King Bharat, how much he was distracted in spite of being in the stage of bhava. So here in text 20, okay, I'll, I'll try to find exact chapter. Uh, so yes, Canto 5, chapter 8, text 20. I just want to show the depth of his attachment to the deer. That deer is exactly like a prince when it will return, when it will again display its personal activities, which are so pleasing, when it will again pacify a wounded heart like mine. I certainly must have no pious assets. I repeat this line, please focus on this line. I certainly must have no pious assets. So here, if you look what King Bharat is trying to say, that he doesn't have any pious assets and that he has lost the association of the deer. So in spite of this, instead of this, he should have mentioned that I have no pious assets, that I have lost my interest in Krishna Prema or my devotional practice. And this is the power of associating with wrong substances or wrong people. Now, text 23, same chapter. After speaking like a madman in this way, Maharaj Bharat got up and went outside. Seeing the footprints of the deer on the ground, he praised the footprints of out of love. Now, please focus on this coming line. O unfortunate Bharata, your austerities and penances are very insignificant compared to the penance and austerity undergone by earth, by this earth planet. So you can again understand madness, or again his attachment to deer from this line, that he is considering his austerities to be completely useless. Now, text 24. Maharaj Bharat continued to speak like a madman, seeing above his head the dark marks on the rising moon, which resembled a deer. He said, can it be that moon who is so kind to an unhappy man might also be kind upon my deer, knowing that it has strayed from home and has become motherless? This moon has given the deer shelter near itself just to protect it from the fearful attacks of a lion. So from this verse, you can see that King Bharat, even when he's looking at moon, he's looking at when he's looking the spots at the moon, he's looking at the deer. That much kind of attachment is he having. This is like a lot. So I will not speak the entire verse, sorry, entire text, but in text 26, Srila Sukdev Goswami has mentioned in the second line, due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity, and worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, my point is, at any time, if we get diverted from our devotional practice, then and then only our past karma or fruitive act results can act. Until we are engaged in the strict practice according to our spiritual master, there is no chance of falling down. So, the moment we are lost from our practice, our past karmas will act upon. The instructions from spiritual masters and senior Vaishnavas act as a strong shield which saves us from our past karmas. In the history of ISKCON and history of our individual self also, we might know and we definitely know that lot of people, lot of devotees were engaged in illicit activities like meat eating, illicit relationship, gambling, and all breaking all kind of offenses. And they revived their Krishna consciousness from last birth just upon following the strict instructions of Srila Prabhupada. And if you read Leela Amrit, you will find how much austerities that these Western devotees of Srila Prabhupada had done, especially both in India and outside. In Mumbai, when Srila Prabhupada went for his preaching purpose, it is mentioned in Leela Amrit, in one room, 20 devotees were crammed, 20 devotees, and they were using only one washroom. So this is the kind of austerities the Westerner devotees they had, took for their guru, their spiritual master. Now, case 2 of Chitraketu Maharaj. We all know that following the instructions of his Guru Maharaj, Angira Muni, and a senior Vaishnava, Narad Muni, Chitraketu Maharaj was elevated, and one day he was traveling in Vaikuntha and coming across Shivji, where he was addressing to other saints, and Lord Shiva was sitting in association of Mother Parvati. So Chitraketu passed some remarks which were not pleasing. And just by doing such an offense unto the lotus feet of the topmost devotee, Veshwanam Yathashambhu, he fell down. He got a curse from Mother Parvati, right? So we have to remember third verse from Shiksha Ashtakam all the time. And according to Srila Prabhupada, we must tie this verse onto our neck, which is Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amani na man dena, Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Sometimes it is very difficult to follow or to understand what the other devotee is saying. This is the instruction from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one must consider himself humble than a blade of grass or more tolerant than a tree. But what is Krishna saying in chapter 18, text 14? He says anything that occurs takes place because of 5 reasons. And at the end, he mentioned that without his sanction, nothing takes place. So, for example, if one devotee for some reason is talking in bitter language, please remember, try to remember this verse that he is speaking based upon the sanction of Lord Krishna. He is not speaking on his behalf. It is little tough to absorb, but lot many times it is mentioned that spiritual life is difficult. Spiritual life is difficult, but material life is impossible. In Canto 9, we hear a story of Shobri Muni, where he did offense unto the feet of Garudji. And then he had fallen from his position. And then at that time, he decided to marry 50 princesses. And look at this verse, what he's saying here. Shobri Muni thought, I am now feeble because of old age. My hair has become gray. My skin is slack. My head always trembles. Besides, I am a yogi, therefore women do not like me. Since the king has thus rejected me, I shall reform my body. I'm focusing on word my body in such a way as to be desirable even to a celestial woman, what to speak of the daughters of the worldly kings. Again, I'm going to highlight certain words used by Shobri Muni, where I want to mention that in chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, text 15, Krishna says, I give intelligence, I give memory, and I give forgetfulness. Okay, so what kind of forgetfulness he has given to Shobri Muni? Just try to focus over here. Shobri Muni thought, I am now feeble because of old age. My hair. That means my is not Shobri Muni. He's saying my hair. That hair is part of the body. He's talking about his body, that his body is old now. My head always trembles. And that is why the daughters of this king, they have rejected his body. You see, like he's using the clear words that my body, my hair, my head, and my body is being rejected by the daughters. But in spite of using correct words, where he's indicating to the body, where he's not, clearly indicating that he is not the body, but he's not able to understand. So Krishna, when somebody does a Vaishnava Aprad, he makes you forget what is correct, what is incorrect. And then when he makes you forget, he makes you remember of the fact that you are a body. The moment you remember this fact that you are a body, you want to try to satisfy your senses. The moment you want to try to satisfy the your senses, these 6 enemies, lust, greed, anger, pride, envy, attachment, comes into play. Here, before quickly finishing up, I want to, I will request you all to open Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse 30. 6, 3, 30. So, please read this shloka very carefully. What Yamraj is saying to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, Yamraj has not committed any offense. Yamraj has a duty and he conducts his duties through his Yamdutas. And Yamdutas were strictly following the orders of Yamraj, where they were ordered to bring the soul of Ajamil. And what Ajamil had done, as I told you, as it is mentioned in Skand Puran, if anybody chants the name of Ram, Krishna, Hari even once, he can be escaped from the highest misery. And this is what Ajamil did. He chanted the name of Narayan only once. And what Yamraj is saying about Ajamil to Lord Narayan. Then Yamraj, considering himself and his servants to be the offenders, spoke as follows, begging pardon from the Lord. O my Lord, my servants have surely committed a great offense by arresting a Vaishnava such as Ajamil. You can understand from this line, Lord Yamraj is addressing Ajamil, a Vaishnava, and he's saying his offense to be a great offense. I will continue and complete this verse. O Narayana, O Supreme and oldest person, please forgive us. Because of our ignorance, we failed to recognize Ajamil as a servant of your Lordship, and thus we have certainly committed a great offense. Therefore, with folded hands, we beg your pardon, my Lord, since you are supremely merciful and are always full of good qualities. Please pardon us. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So, here in this verse, you can see how gravely Yamraj is one of the 12 Mahajans. He is offering his apologies to Lord Narayan for committing a great offense for Ajamil, a great Vaishnava. So, my point is so many times we make mistakes, and yes, sometimes we do not talk nicely to each other, but it is our duty to forgive each other very humbly. We must try to ask for repeated apologies from each other so that we do not fall out from this devotional practice. You see, right now in this room, there are 10, 15 people sitting here. Population of Toronto is more than 1 million, and less than 1% of people are sitting here. So you can imagine the fortune of people, those who are sitting here, attending Mangal Aarti, attending Shringar Aarti, attending Bhagavatam class. Hardly 1% people. So I will also take you to one verse from Canto 4, chapter 30, verse number 8. I think after this verse, I will go on to the questions and answers. 438.
30.8.
Yes. So why I want you to take to this verse, because this verse tells you how to get maximum benedictions. I hope we all are looking for some kind of benedictions from Supreme Personality of Godhead, some mercy from Him. After reading the verse, I will take you to the third last line of the purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you." I want to highlight to the word pleased and friendly. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes pleased by our friendly relationships. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. All of you are engaged in one occupation. You have only one task to do, to please Krishna and Guru Maharaj. I am so pleased. Again, who's speaking this verse? Krishna is speaking this verse. And he's saying, I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. So first he blessed with all the fortunes, and then he said, now you ask a benediction. Now please go to the third last line. Those who are, yes, exactly. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstance. So, if a person is truly engaged in Krishna consciousness or in service of his Guru, then he cannot be disunited with any other devotees and instructions of his Guru. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy and willing to award all kinds of benediction to his devotees, as indicated in this verse. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Guru Maharaj has mentioned that one must chant this verse, including this purport, both 2 times a day, morning and night. And what is the fruit of chanting this verse? Chanting of this verse and purport, it is not a very long purport. One will stay united with ISKCON, one will stay united with his fellow devotees, one will stay united with the instructions of his Guru Maharaj and Vaishnavas. Our fall down occurs only because of our disunity with these instructions. So, with this, I will conclude. So, if you have any doubts and questions, you please may ask. Please don't ask any tough questions. Yes, please, Prabhuji.
First of all, thank you for the class was actually very amazing and detailed. I love that a lot. And thank you for giving amazing examples. I have a question regarding example of Bharat. Like as you mentioned, after performing so many austerities, the question that I actually have is, how can he fall for a deer? Like, so does this mean our love for Lord can be changed? I know you mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Krishna gives you everything. He also gives you forgetfulness. But then what is the reason behind this forgetfulness?
So I knew this question is gonna come. So answer of this question is in text 26 and 27. If you will read the purports of text 26 and 27, chapter number 8, you will find the solution. You see, many of you might have all have heard that there was a lecture going. Lecture was being given by Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada in his lecture said, if you are not 100% Krishna consciousness, then your guys are not gonna go to Golok. You have to be 100% Krishna consciousness. Then when a lot of devotees they heard this, they become sad. Then Prabhupada said, okay, 90%. Then some devotees were reassured, but mostly they were still in morose. Like this, eventually, I will be very fast. He came to 60%. And still, some people were morose. Then he said, okay, don't worry. I have the back door, key to the back door of the Golok. So Prabhupada is very, very merciful. I know, actually, I'm trying to address your answer. So, as you as I told you, the answer lies in Canto 5, Chapter 8, text 20, purport of 26 and 27. So Prabhupada is saying that actually Krishna wanted to save King Bharat for continuing his attachment to the deer. Because if he continues to attachment to the deer, he is killing his spiritual journey. He's committing a spiritual suicide here by following a bad association. Even if you go on Nectar of Instructions, I think per 2, there are 6 factors given for the fall down, in which association with non-devotees or asasat tyanga is one of the main reasons given. That's why I mentioned that one have to approach non-devotees to preach them, but one must not get preached. You and for that reason, we have to stay in the association of devotees. Jai. Yes.
taking the same example of Bharat Maharaj, if I talk about personally myself, I do try to do some devotional service under with devotees, but at the same time, there are so many, I would say, materialistic desires that is in my heart. And then what do you think after these verses is the best way we can dovetail these desires and just depend on Krishna? What is that practical way that I can apply it today?
Yes, it is a very good question, and this is a question which arises in hearts of many devotees. But the answer is very simple. So, to dovetail all your desires towards Krishna consciousness, first of all, follow the first basic instructions from your Guru Maharaj to follow four regulative principles, 16 rounds, reading of Srila Prabhupada books, and then you can take each and every single desire and you can ask your Guru Maharaj, and he will dovetail for you to Krishna consciousness. In chapter number 1 of Gita, text 15, Krishna is being addressed as Rishikesha in the purport. Right? Rishikesha means who is the controller of all the senses. I will take a very simple example. There is a brahmachari, he gave his personal realization. He told me one day that he was desiring, he wanted to have a lemonade in the afternoon. One simple desire, wanted to have a lemonade. On that very day, a Grahastha devotee came to Radha Khirchor Gopinath, Shri Radha Khirchor Gopinath, and offered lemonade to the Lord. And that's how that, right? One. Number two, that same devotee told me another day that he was desiring to eat avocado. Simple desire, not a very tough desire. You may call it this way, that way, but anyways, desire is a desire, right? Same day, evening, he was called for like a temple program somewhere else. They were serving avocado. So Lord fulfills all the desires. One, right? I'm talking about a brahmachari. I'm trying to address your question by because I stated the fact that you must approach your Guru Maharaj, and then he will try to dovetail to Krishna consciousness. So when you will ask your Guru Maharaj, and when he will speak some words, that those words are not coming just from him, they are coming after the sanctioning of Krishna, as stated by in chapter 18, text 14. So when he will say something, it will eventually, I'm using word eventually, it will lead to purification, and your journey will be directed towards Krishna consciousness. So many people among us, and or not present here even. I'll give my personal example. When I started with Krishna consciousness, how I started one day in the morning at 4 o'clock. Somehow, I don't know, I woke up and I decided to do yoga and pranayam to improve my immunity and my health. So after, as the yoga video was finishing, I desired Krishna. I want to do some devotional service, but I do not have a desire to take bath. At that time, I didn't know about ISKCON. I didn't know about Hare Krishna. I had a simple desire. This is 4:30. It is Amrit Vela. It is Brahm Muhurat. I want to do some devotional service, but I do not want to take bath. I want to do some puja. I want to do something. That very given moment, that yoga video, as it finished, video of His Grace Amog Leela Prabhu from Dwarka popped up, and he mentioned that you can do this Hare Krishna mantra anytime, anywhere, even in the washroom, even in the graveyard. I was so thrilled, and that given moment I paused the video and I started to chant. I chanted. Thank you, Mataji. I chanted one round. After chanting one round, I felt so peaceful that I do not know. I was like somehow motivated to chant few more rounds. And that day, coincidentally, again I'm mentioning, I was not aware of ISKCON. I didn't knew what is ISKCON. I didn't knew anything. I chanted 16 rounds straight. After chanting 16 rounds on that day, I continued the video. And until that day, I used to break 4 regulative principles. I also mentioned about that, all right? So I continued the video and I learned, because Amog Leela Prabhu was mentioning that one must follow these are the principles. One must offer whatever you eat to Krishna. And that very day, whatever was not acceptable to Krishna, I literally threw that out of the house, started to offer, started to arti just in a day. So what I want to say is, a person, and I was 34 and a half at that age, a person who was breaking 4 regulative principles from Brahma Muhurat. That was my feature. For 34 and a half years, I was breaking 4 regulative principles, and in a day, in a second, on a desire of a fallen soul who is not under the guidance of any devotee in person, I have a desire. I want to do some prayer, and that desire was not even directed even to directly to Krishna. So if you have a desire that you want to dovetail your material consciousness towards Krishna, it will definitely take place. It depends upon 2 things: intensity of your desire and how sincerely you address those desires based upon the instructions of your Guru Maharaj. I hope I am able to answer your questions. Yes, Prabhuji.
Very wonderfully explained, Prabhu. I love your class. You connected each and every verses. You you selected and picked appropriate verses, and you also mentioned you have to forgive and beg for forgiveness. Sunada Bisunichan emphasized on that. I'm really trying to practice, but it's like really hard.
Yes.
Um, but my question was, here it's mentioned that due to fruity results of his past deeds, Lord, he fell down.
Hmm.
And you also mentioned that once we stopped doing devotional service, we fell down into material entanglement. But also wanted to know, in Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned that due to the reaction of your karma, so that means like it's a negative. Like the statement is like negative. Due to your bad reaction, by bad karma, you are getting this reaction. But here it's mentioned fruitive results. So what does it mean? Is it a bad deed that we are doing, which is putting in material entanglement, or even the good deeds that we do is putting us into material entanglement?
See, we always, like according to Bhagavad Gita, a person does not do anything. It is the modes under which you are being conducted. When you are in Tamogun, then you are doing activities which are not desirable. When you are in Rajogun, then you are doing activities which involve too much of labor and things like that. When you're in Satogun, then you are trying to collect some pious credits, right? What I have understood, like from your question, I will try to answer in that way. If not understood correctly, please correct me. So if we are trying to do activities, like for example, we are doing devotional service, but if you are doing devotional service only to collect some piety, to get good birth, to the eighth offense.
Yeah.
If we are trying to do that, should get a better car, better spouse, better house, better job, better material facilities, then yes, we will fall down. Because we are using basically His Holiness Bhakti Ashray Vaishnav Swami Maharaj Ji has mentioned, we want to kill a mosquito. Will you use a rifle to kill a mosquito? Right? So getting these material success, you don't need Harinam for that. These material success is just a byproduct of your. Krishna will take care of everything. Like, if you look at your present situation, I think you guys are living in the most expensive part of of GTA or Ontario, right? And I think in the most luxurious circumstances, I think you all get free, fresh prasadam 3 times a day. Most of the people, I think, including the topmost CEOs, they have to microwave their food at least once a day. But I think devotees don't have to microwave their food at least. They have choice to, you know. So that is the thing. I hope I answered your question.
Very well.
You want to ask? Yeah. You want to ask?
Yes, you have. But I don't know if the time if you want to. Okay. Fine. Prabhu, this was regarding offenses. In the, I mean, I was going to actually ask a question of Bharat Maharaj, but 3 people asked a question about Bharat Maharaj, so I wanted to move on from that topic. So, about Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu. So, Maharaj Chitraketu didn't mean to offend Lord
Correct,
Shiva,
you're right.
but Mother Parvati took it as an offense.
Correct.
Right? So, this can happen even with us as devotees, right? That many people, that we may not mean to offend somebody,
Mm.
but someone may take it as offense.
Yes.
So how can then we escape this cycle of offenses then? Like, I mean, if people are taking everything as offense.
Yes, I will answer this question using a couple of things. So, if you, what happens if you have chanted your rounds properly in the morning, all 16, right, complete. If you have attended Mangal Aarti, if you have attended the class, so automatically your mind will come into in a stage where you are trying to give benefit of doubt to other person. I will relate this with an example. One time what happened, actually this example was also given by His Grace Amuglila Prabhu. So one time what happened, a person was supposed to sing Shringar Arti or Guru Puja, and one devotee, I think that devotee was newer than this devotee, he came, but his tone was little too energetic. He told the devotee, "Do not touch the mic," like that. That person got offended, and then he reported to Amoglila Prabhu that this person is talking to like this to me. Then Prabhu said that, Prabhuji, actually there is problem with the earthing. If he touches the mic has a metal part. He will might get a shock. So sometimes, not sometimes, but many a times we have to give benefit of doubt to other person. You see, in Bhagavad Gita, many places Krishna has used a word tolerate. We have to constantly tolerate. You see, like as I mentioned, there are difficulties in spiritual life, but material life is impossible. So even here you have to tolerate. Like you don't have to tolerate other people, you have to tolerate your own body also. So when you are sick, what you forgive yourself, right? I'm sick. I will not be doing Mangal Aarti today. I will not be able to do chant my rounds in the morning. I will spread the rounds throughout the day. Or I will not go over. So what you're doing, you're asking for forgiveness and quickly you're forgiving yourself. The way you're forgiving yourself, Prahlad Maharaj has mentioned, we must learn to forgive other people just like that. Then we are, and cross this ocean of material. I hope I answered your question.
We can make the last question.
Very good.
Gave such a beautiful examples from Bhagavatam. And the crux of almost all the example was that we fall down due to one reason, which is Vaishnava Prad. So there are so many things we have heard during our journey about Vaishnava Prad, we shouldn't do. But like something the crux of this, that how we can avoid Vaishnava Prad. What is 1, 2, or 3 things which we should do so that we avoid Vaishnava Prad?
Okay, I will speak again as I told you what I have heard. So His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Guru Maharaj has mentioned again. I'm repeating. If again you stick to morning program, if you are not living in temple, try to do morning program as it is in your home. Finish 16 rounds. Read Bhagavatam, or if you cannot read, attend a lecture online and try to make notes. When we make notes, and this second line which I'm about to say is said by His Holiness Bhakti Ashray Vaishnav Swami Maharaj. He said, report. If you, like sadhana reporting,
Yes, sadhana chai.
daily sadhana reporting, daily, not weekly. If you report to somebody higher than you, then you will be obliged to complete that activity. Okay, what Vaishnav Maharaji has said, like you once you have done your rounds, you have read Bhagavatam, you have Mangal Arati, and after reading Bhagavatam or listening to Bhagavatam class, you should make notes. If you have not made notes and you are not reporting to him, then the process is incomplete. Just by doing this, 100% of your Vaishnava Aparadh you won't be in a situation to commit it. By accidentally, if you have committed it, okay, we whatever we do in three ways. BMW. Body, mind,
and
words. So if you have done through body, ask for forgiveness through body. If you have done through mind, ask
through mind.
through mind for forgiveness. If you have done through verbally, ask for verbally. For some reason, if you do not, if you have committed offense verbally or physically, like the person was in person, and now you do not have strength to ask for forgiveness, then every day bow down in front of Srila Prabhupada and Shri Shri Radhakechur Gopinath and ask for strength. I'm not giving you a bypass. I'm asking for strength. I'm mentioning, because again, whatever saying I've heard, I'm not speculating from myself. Ask for the strength so that you can ask for forgiveness from that devotee. Even if this is a little difficult, then try to glorify that devotee in front of other devotees so that that devotee hears and that devotee forgives you. If still doesn't work, Nityananda Rama Prabhu. Reach out to him, ask for some services, read about his glories, his pastimes, read his Ashtakam, and then still go to that devotee and ask for forgiveness.
Haribol.
Nityananda Rama Prabhu will definitely give you strength. He is the most merciful.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu, for listing all the points wonderfully. Haribol. Thank you.